You're just kind of flying through my entire script already. Actually, it just remind you when you just mentioned your husband Joe. I didn't mean to ask you. Yeah, because sometimes you also see spirits of people, right?
Yeah.
Can you share a little bit about this or explain? For example, remember this remarkable story of Christopher, your brother?
Yeah, just like I was only a toddler, you know, I was seeing the angels, and I was seeing actually my little brother. And you have to remember, I didn't know that my little brother had died. And you've got to remember, I was only a young child. You know, I was crawling on the floor, starting to learn how to walk, and I was playing with my little brother. And to me, he was my little brother, and that was it. And sometimes I would see him asleep in my mum's arms when she'd fall. She always had the habit of falling asleep in one of the chairs in front of the fire. And sometimes I would see him as an infant in her arms, but still, it never crossed my mind that there was anything wrong with that.
It was a spirit.
Yeah,
it was a spirit.
You know, but I was only a toddler. And other times he would play with me, and he would be my age. Sometimes he'd even be older. But it was the day that we touched, when we were playing in front of the fire, and we were playing with bricks my dad had made, and it was like as if his hand and my hand, I can't figure it out even today, went into each other, and it just all sparkled. It's hard to describe, and it was just so tingly, and I laughed, and you know, I could feel the love of my brother. I couldn't understand this warmth, this love. And that was when the angels told me that they were angels and that my brother was a soul. And I understood straight away. You know, you have to remember, the angels have been my best friends and companions all my life. They have actually taught me everything I know, because I'm not educated in that sense, but yet I've had the best education going. You know, I have had God's angels educate me. And they told me to keep it a secret. And I kept it a secret.
Why did they tell you to keep it secret?
Well, as I grew, actually, that came fairly obvious to me why they had said that. It was because I was dyslexic. Am I pronouncing it properly?
Dyslexic.
Okay, and I had difficulty reading and writing. I couldn't really, to be honest with you. And even sometimes in pronouncing words. But yet when the angels spoke to me, I could understand them perfectly, and I could speak back to them perfectly. Even now, some words I can't pronounce. You know, there's loads of things I'm told I'm good at covering it up, you know, and it's not noticed. But if I had turned around and said to my mom, or my dad, or a neighbour, or my granny, or anything, that there was an angel standing there with them, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I would have been put into an institution.
Just to protect you?
It was to protect me. And as a young child, I know one would say, well, children shouldn't keep secrets, but I'm glad I kept a secret. And you've got to remember, God chose the time for me to write the first book. I didn't choose it. Like, because I really couldn't read or write. You know, I mean, it was really, really bad. And as a child, they would say, Lorna, you would write about them, the angels, and I would write about God. And as a child, I didn't really take much notice. Like, I was only a child, like, you know, in that way. But it was when I was married and everything like that, and the angel Michael, when I was coming home from the shops with my daughter, said, Lorna, it's getting near the time for you to write. And I just literally stopped reading the pad and looked at her.
You must have, well, I was thinking it must have been a complete shock for you to, you know, where you're coming from and then having to write a book.
It was. The first thing I said to him, you know, I can't even read or write properly. How on earth does God expect me to write even one book? Never mind what he has me doing. Look what he has me doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he just said, help would be sent. And I didn't start anything because Joe was still alive. I had to wait till God had said now. And as soon as he had said it, as soon as he had said it, and I had said, just mentioned that I was going to write, and someone I had just met, and you have to remember I had no money, cry because Joe had died and I hadn't got anything, never did in that sense, but yet had loads. He said help would be sent, and this person went out and bought a laptop for me and a speakeasy, a dragon net. So that's actually how I do it today as well. I talk into a computer and it prints it out.
Wow. Thank God for modern technology.
Thank you. That's great. I suppose God had to wait till it improved. Maybe that. I don't know.